Sorry, what?
That's the one wall that faces the alley?
No, it wasn't downstairs in the basement.
So now that you got the assessment, do they charge for the bidding?
No, there'd be no charge for the bidding.
Straight to the bidding?
I could ask for bids for it. I can get a hold of Mark and ask him to get me bids on this.
For the demolition or for the asbestos
For the
remediation?
asbestos remediation, because that has to be done first.
Right.
That would have to be done first.
Says there's a wall down there 180 lineal feet.
Right. Yeah.
So he was saying that if you did a demo instead of remediation, then you get ground contamination.
If we did a demolition without removing this, it would cost us more to haul the material away because it's got asbestos material in it.
You would have to go to a special waste landfill or
Yeah.
hazardous waste landfill.
It would increase the cost of the demolition.
They are if it's properly prepared.
Yeah, if it's properly bagged and everything else.
Yeah.
They can
Let me read this off of here, what Mark wrote in on this other one that I got November 3rd, that I believe I gave you last week. Due to the nature of the business firmly located in this building, it is very likely that there is hazardous material which should be removed before demolition. This should be done now while there are some safe portions of the building to work in. Otherwise, the collapsed debris will have to be treated as special waste, increasing the cost of the demolition significantly. I have talked to one person about the demolition of that, and it was a local man, and it was he said $108,000. I didn't get anything in writing. I just asked him to give me a price.
And that's not including the remediation?
And that's not including remediation, because you have to get special people for that. Well, what I can do is I can go ahead and get bids on it, and we can go from there and see what happens.
Well, we got to know how much the asbestos removal is. That's
Okay. I'll
first
ask
step.
for bids then. I'll get a hold of
Get
Mark.
a hold of some people to get us a bid on that.
What I do is I usually let Mark handle that because he knows all the
Well, that's fine.
asbestos.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
However, but you're responsible to get the bids to us.
Okay. All right. We'll do
What's
that
it
for you.
take, 2 weeks, 21st?
I would say about 2 weeks, about the 24th before I'd be able to get it.
The 21st.
21st. I'll ask Mark if I can have him in by the 21st. Okay, I got one more thing. This is a dumpster permit that was approved by the Board of Works on October 12th, 2011. I talked to Donnie Crane. He has no problem with it. The lady that is wanting the dumpster permit just now got the finances to be able to do it, so they got it up to date, or they had to extend the date till now. So they're going to start next week, okay?
Yeah.
So she didn't have it, so I just wanted to make sure
It just
that
never
the board.
happened on the date she
Right.
said.
So I guess what I was doing is informing the board that it's going to happen now instead of back in October. I guess it's for your information only, basically.
So we're amending the request?
Amending the
current
request
date.
to the current dates, which will be next week. I've talked to Donnie, and Donnie Crane said there's no problem with where it's going to be at anyway, so.
So the ending date will be 12/31?
11, just like
Yes.
on the bumper sticker.
Yes. That's all I have.
All right. Make a motion to accept the building commissioner's report presented, along with the recommendations to get quotations for the asbestos removal at 216 North Psychic Street.
Second that motion.
Oh, wait, I forgot about, and the dumpster, and the dumpster request for 1119 East Broadway.
Got it?
That's it.
Okay, I will second that motion.
I have a motion made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the NDOT relinquishment. The typo here, this is not the final acceptance. NDOT is proposing to relinquish to the city of Logansport, back to the city of Logansport, Psychic Street from the city limits to Market, Market from Psychic Street east to 6th, 6th Street north to High Street, and then Broadway from 6th back to the confluence where it meets. They want to relocate Highway 25 from 3rd Street east on High to 6th. I've spoken with County Commissioner President Dave Arnold. He agrees with this offer, at least as far as he doesn't have a problem with the turns on High Street and stuff. They have offered us 3 options, a total of $3.5 million. They have a 3-year option of $1,200,000 each year. The 3rd year would be $1,100,000. Option 4-year option is $900,000, $900,000, $900,000, and $800,000. The 5-year option is $700,000 each year for 5 years. During the negotiations, we felt it would be prudent for us to keep this money in escrow, and that's how we will be able to do it. It helps NDOT because they don't have to write a $3 million check. It helps us because we can plan now the rebuilding of Market, Broadway, and 6th Streets on a basis, and use this yearly money for match money. It can be used on trails. It can be used for roads. It's for LPA projects. So we could turn this 3.5 million into approximately $15 million over that of work to be done. We've met with them. If you'll look on the signature page, the signatures below are representative of the following only: agreement of the proposal, though non-binding. Number 2, the memo will be used in preparation for the memorandum of agreement for relinquishment, and the memorandum of agreement will be drafted and forwarded to the LPA, which is us, for review and signatures. So this is a non-binding thing. It just gets the paperwork started on the state. They have asked that this be done, completed by the end of the year. That's why they brought it to us as quickly. So I would entertain I will make a motion to accept the relinquishment memorandum, non-binding agreement, and that we sign it this evening and get the process started.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? If we vote on it, you better comment if you want to vote. I mean,
Before the vote? You want to comment before the vote, yes?
Need your name and address, please.
Matthew Barrett, 49 Greenlawn Drive, and I was just brought in just a few hours ago, so I apologize. Board, if I could, just a few comments here. I'm here on behalf of Ted Franklin. He couldn't be here. He's in Indianapolis right now, and he's asked me to be here on his behalf. He's requested that this be this agreement be tabled for at least 30 days, and the reason being he's just like to have an opportunity to review it. It's going to be a significant impact on Logansport, and I understand NDOT has requested that this be put or be accomplished by the end of the year. But several hours ago, I did speak with Tom Weatherwax, chairman of the Hoosier Heartland Corridor Coalition. His understanding is that this delay would not have any bearing on the impact, and we're just asking for at least 30 days. And Ted didn't want me to stress to you, Mayor, he understands you put a lot of work on this project, and he wanted to recognize that, but he's just asking for a request of at least 30 days just for review, and we can try to work with NDOT on that too. And I understand that they've asked you to do this by the end of the year. So with that said, I appreciate you hearing me.
We have a motion made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Eastgate deed and dedication acceptance. This is an issue that has been ongoing. Started back under the last administration. And it has to do with a spot of land, no bigger than a postage stamp,
.017 acres.
that has been, and there's been some issues with some street lighting as well. So this is just to clean up a long term agreement that was started back in 2002, I think was when it first started. Councilor, got anything to add?
Sure. Just by way of an example, I think some of the surveyors, they like to say that anytime you touch any piece of property with the municipality, you go back far enough, you're going to find a problem with it, needs cleaned up. For example, when we were dealing with the school and they were building on the extensions there, I think back in the early 1900s, that the property was still in the city's name, and they've been building schools on city property for years, or decades. And so this is just that, when they built the right-of-way, they looked like they miscentered it, you know, and so we got it all centered up now, after these are all signed and taken care of.
Okay, I'd make a motion that we accept the deed dedication of Eastgate. I don't even know what to call it. What do we call it?
There was a deed of dedication from Eastgate, and then deed of dedication from the courts.
Okay.
Do it, Sam.
Deed dedication for Eastgate and for the McCord Do It Center. Need a second.
Second.
We have a motion made and properly seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any board member comments? Visitor comments? We're adjourned.